Hello world. So the story I'm about to tell you is one that happened about 20 years ago. My friends and I were playing in an old car that belonged to our neighbors. And one of my friends was the neighbor's son, so we had easy access to it. You know, when you're children, there are a lot of things that you're curious about. And so in that particular moment, curiosity set in. One of my friends had a very brilliant idea. He wanted to see whether what we saw in the movies was true. This particular thing that he wanted to see was whether someone does actually burn if you pour gasoline on them and set them ablaze. And so we started to look about for a way to test this theory or this thing that we had seen in the movies. We were able to find some gasoline or petrol. I think it was drawn from that old car. It was no longer on the road, but it must have had something in its tank left. And so when this gasoline or petrol was secured, it was poured on one of my friends who was the neighbor's son. And the only thing that remained in that moment was finding a stick, a matchstick, and setting him ablaze and seeing if at all he would burn like they do in the movies. But in that moment, something told me that something here was wrong. And if I did not do something quickly, this situation was going to become very, very messy. And so I ran as fast as my little legs could carry me to someone I could find, anyone. I ran home, and the first person I found at home, I told them, "You better come quickly. Someone is about to be set on fire." This person came with me. I really don't remember who it was. It might have been my mother, it might have been my aunt, it might have been the helper, but whoever they were, they came with me. And we arrived just in the nick of time, and we rescued my friend who was about to be set ablaze by the rest of my friends. I was to hear this story, the story of how I saved my friend's life over and over whenever my father would tell it to his friends and to anyone who would care to listen, and proudly so. And I was to get a couple of rewards from it. If I'm being honest, I don't really remember the event, but my father would tell it over and over and over. And from that retelling, I learned two things. Number one, you are never too young to be a hero. And number two, don't be afraid to use your voice, no matter how small it seems in a large world, because you might save someone's life. That day I used my voice. Perhaps I didn't even know what I was doing, but it made a difference. And someone is alive today, perfectly safe, perfectly whole, at least as far as their physique is concerned, because I spoke about it. You also need to speak about the things that matter, no matter how small you think your voice is. Use it. You might